Ackerfleet, you better come out! Come out now with your hands up!
Is this blood? Does this look like blood to you?
Why did you do that?
If not, I might have it in my purse.
These are moments when the police made grim discoveries, often through tips from a cooperative community or their own diligent investigation. This began with a case that featured the most unlikely of events. On May 18, 2019, a mother and her 8-year-old daughter were out for an evening walk when a man in a moving vehicle suddenly snatched the girl from her. The mother, clearly distraught, immediately reported the incident to the police, who arrived swiftly. Thanks to a neighbor's doorbell camera, they were able to provide a detailed description of the vehicle and identified a suspect, 51-year-old Michael Webb, prompting them to issue an Amber Alert. A hotel clerk at the Forest Hills Wood Springs Villa Hotel, where Webb was holding the girl captive, recognized the suspect's vehicle from the alert and quickly informed the police, leading them straight to his doorstep. The police successfully rescued 8-year-old Salem Sabatka, who had reportedly been forced upon, bringing an end to her harrowing ordeal.
Here she is! Got her! We got her! We got her! We got her!
However, this marked the beginning of Michael Webb's troubles as he faced the serious consequences of his actions, but not before revealing some shocking confessions.
And I know I missed somebody because when I pushed the woman and grabbed her, I heard somebody screaming.
Uh-huh.
I heard somebody screaming.
You say to scare her, Michael?
I told her that if she said anything, that I would do something to her parents. And if I was in jail, I would have my friends to do it.
These confessions weren't enough to deter the judge, who found him guilty of kidnapping and made sure to hand the maximum sentence of life imprisonment. This is 33-year-old William Mozingo, and in mid-October, he kidnapped 23-year-old Khloe Jones. Of all places to hide, he snuck her into the outdoor garage of former acquaintances without their prior knowledge. They remained there for 4 days until the residents discovered them and immediately alerted the police. The residents, who were former friends of Mozingo, claimed they had cut ties with him and had no idea he was hiding out in their garage.
There's a girl in there, she's very small and slim. My husband said he didn't really get a good look at her, but he's yelling at her. Right, the living fire in her faces. She can't see out of her eyes.
Okay.
Now that the police knew where Khloe was, they had only one job left.
He hid somewhere?
We're in there.
But we're thinking of that too. We're thinking of Spud Bar, I'll take it. That is a little more leverage than this. The bottom lock's
The officers knew that the man behind the door was a serial kidnapper, one who had been arrested 3 times before, and bringing him out wouldn't be simple. It would require an extra show of force.
William, this is the Akron Police Department. This is your last chance. Come out now with your hands up, or we'll be sending the canine in to apprehend you. You will get bit by the dog.
Mozingo was finally arrested, but that was only half the job. The officers still needed to rescue Khloe, who had not only been kidnapped, but also beaten throughout her captivity.
Let me get this ladder, okay?
Thompson? How far away is that?
Like 30 minutes, like close to Chardon.
Why don't you have a seat right there? Why don't you have a seat right there on that stool?
When they found her, she was in a despicable state, battered and traumatized from the ordeal. Khloe suffered severe injuries, including facial fractures, brain bleeding, a broken arm, and fractured fingers. William Mozingo, on the other hand, was placed in Sumner County Jail on a $100,000 bond. He was charged for the felonious assault, unlawful restraint, kidnapping, abduction, parole violation, and escape. This is the story of Taylor Schabusiness, a 25-year-old woman responsible for the murder and decapitation of her boyfriend, 24-year-old Shad Therian. And it all began with a bizarre 911 call.
Yes, I'd like an officer at 829 Stony Brook. Girlfriend just woke me up and swears that she found her severed head of her son in the basement.
Okay, can you repeat the address, sir?
829 Stony Brook.
Okay, tell me what's happening there again.
I have no clue what's happening. My girl swears that she's found her severed head of her son in the basement.
Did you go down there?
In a bucket. I went down. I can't tell what the fuck it is. Part of my language. I'm kind of a little freaked out.
Officers in Green Bay, Wisconsin were dispatched to the location immediately, as early as 2 a.m. When they arrived, it became painfully clear that the situation was far more serious than they had imagined.
Where's it at?
Go right there. Look right, there's a bucket with its hole on it.
Two people in the house for sure.
Upon searching the department, officers found a bloody mattress, a bloody pillow, and the chain used to take Chad Darian's life. All of this pointed to one person, Taylor Schabusiness, and the police knew exactly where to find her.
Is this blood? Does this look like blood to you? Taylor, how's it going? Officer Russell with the Green Bay Police Department. Just make sure you ain't got nothing on you here.
Contact me.
Taylor, you have one more for your, just put your hands behind your back, quick.
Anyone else in your apartment?
You got blood on your hands here, too.
Taylor Schabusiness, a married woman with a son, was having an affair with Chad Darian. On the night of the murder, both had consumed methamphetamine and other prescription drugs. While under the influence, they attempted to engage in adventurous intimacy, during which Taylor managed to kill him. Once caught red-handed, she was taken in for questioning, and where she was shockingly forthcoming about the gruesome acts she had committed.
The body's there. Yeah, it's
So we're gonna take the head somewhere?
I like that.
You liked it? So then you had sex with him?
Yes.
What did you do with the needle?
I put it in his mouth, put it in his ass. Put it back.
After choking Chad to death, Taylor Schabusiness continued to violate his body, eventually decapitating him. She placed his head in a bucket, removed his organs, and even took a shower with his body, leaving his organs scattered around the apartment. She later attempted to plead not guilty by reason of insanity, but the most overwhelming evidence worked against her. As the court proceedings turned against her, she decided to demonstrate just how crazy she claimed to be.
Stop it. Stop it. Rachel, call. You went off on your attorney, Taylor. You went crazy on your attorney.
Taylor Schabusiness was charged with first-degree intentional homicide, mutilation of corpse, and third-degree assault. She was handed the maximum sentence of life imprisonment. If you're loving our content so far, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. The next case saw the police discovering the most unlikely of pills in the possession of a plastic surgeon on his way to carry out a surgery. On May 24, 2022, a traffic stop was initiated on a plastic surgeon named William Wright Adams. The reason for the stop was to question him about a burglary he had been linked to back in 2021.
You got anything in your pockets or anything? I don't think so. I'll check.
According to reports, Adam paid a man $1,000 and gave him a bag of crystal meth to break into his ex-boyfriend's house and steal some jewelry. Adam's car was seen near the house on the day of the break-in, and eyewitnesses confirmed it. A year later, this crime caught up with him, and all he could do was sit in the back of the police car while they searched his vehicle.
Definitely searching that. I saw him picking it up while we were
After a brief search, the officer returns to talk to Adams.
You want somebody to come pick up your car? You want somebody to come and pick up your car? Because we're parked on 31st Street. It's
Right.
busy street.
I mean,
So.
I'm not sure what's going on.
Okay. Well, I'd love to talk to you. Before I can ask you anything, I've got to read you your rights, okay? But I want to figure out, because we're blocking a busy street right here.
You're putting somebody to sleep right now for me to operate on.
Okay.
So I have to call
Would you
them.
like me to
If I
call
can't
them
be
and
there.
tell them? Or are they going to do that when you show up?
The officer calls Adam's office to send someone to pick up his car, but Adam isn't leaving yet. The officer continues searching Adam's belongings, and this is where he finds some incriminating evidence.
Do you have a meth test kit by any chance? If not, I might have it in my truck.
The officers found a glass pipe and a bag of meth in Adam's bag, which is odd since he claimed he was not on his way to perform surgery. The discovery meant Adams would be heading to jail, but not before they let him speak to his lawyer.
He's right here. He can hear you. You want to confirm that you can hear him?
Yes. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, Bill. Hey, Bill, here's what we're going to do. I talked to the sergeant, who's a nice young lady. What we're going to do at this point is we're going to invoke your rights against self-incrimination. This is not the time to tell your story. There will be a time. This is not that time. So I have invoked your rights against speaking to them. We'll have an opportunity to speak to the right people at the right time. Just today's not the time. So I'm going to ask you not to answer any more of the questions. They're not going to ask you any more questions. I would ask, Bill, that you don't voluntarily want to explain what happened, because there'll be a time for that. Do you understand that, Bill?
Yes, sir.
Let's go ahead and just, I'll connect with you. I will get you bonded out of jail this afternoon. It will take probably till 3 or 4 o'clock today. They've got to book you. They've got to take you. This process takes some time.
Adams was arrested and faced a trial for residential burglary and meth possession. He pleaded guilty to both charges and paid over $50,000 in restitution to the burglary victim. Instead of serving at least 23 months in jail, he agreed to serve 90 days at the Beach Recovery Center. This next case takes us all the way to Detroit, Michigan, where a gruesome discovery has been made. On March 24, 2015, during an eviction process, authorities made a horrifying discovery at Mitchelle Blair's Detroit home. Inside a white deep freezer, they found a frozen body of 13-year-old Stony Ann Blair, wrapped in a plastic bag. And beneath her, wrapped in a blanket, was her 9-year-old brother, Stephen Gage Barry. Shockingly, the bodies have been there for as long as 2 years. The discovery meant only 4 things for Mitchelle Blair: an arrest, a lengthy court trial, and an even longer time behind bars. But first, she had to face an intense interrogation process.
In your eyes, do you feel like you did what you had to do? I didn't have to do that. It was wrong. I don't want to say yes, but my son told me I saved him.
The detective, however, wanted to know why.
Why did you do that? Because they were along with the other thing. When you came home, they rushed to the front door and was like, Mom. When was this? This was a while ago. This incident didn't just happen. When you say a while ago, was it a year, 2 years, a month? Around there. Around where? Year or 2.
After a lengthy interrogation process, Mitchelle Blair was taken to court for trial, where she further demonstrated just how much of a handful her children had been to deal with over the years. After publicly admitting to committing the crimes during an emotional outburst, Mitchelle Blair was found guilty and sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. If you enjoy videos like this, please like, subscribe, and watch the next one.